Kia ora, g'day, welcome back once again here with I think it's part 3. Hopefully this will be the final part of my reaction to the NZ Muscle saga or drama. So let's jump back in.
Trying to silence us. All the product pages for No Brand Isolate and No Brand Whey Plus were updated. Nutrition panels were changed. Claims of NZ made and NZ grass-fed whey were removed. But unfortunately for them, they couldn't change what was printed on the bags and what was inside them. We shared some more snippets of what we were looking into on social media, with a lot of public support from industry leaders, consumers, and NZ Muscle staff.
It's been interesting. There's been a few comments. Some people that have still been purchasing stuff from NZ Muscle who said that the 70% discounts was just too good to refuse. I don't know, eh? I mean, each to their own, but if you know that the product that they're providing has been repackaged and it's probably some out-of-date stuff from another country, is it that good? And then some people that also commented said that they've been in the supplements industry for more than 10, 15 plus years, and they said it's full of cowboys. So, man.
With public pressure mounting, rather than putting out a statement refuting any of our claims, which if you were confident enough to send out a C&D, you'd think would be pretty easy, they stayed quiet and still to this day are yet to make a single public statement. Instead, they sent out an internal memo to their ambassadors, which was immediately leaked to us, where they claimed that issues were identified within the no brand range, and as a result, those products were voluntarily removed from sale. Convenient timing right after we called them out on this publicly. As of recording this video, every single no brand product, aside from their whey protein and BCAAs, have been removed from sale, including the isolate and the whey plus, which remember, they also changed the nutrition panels for and removed certain claims from.
So again, those people that are still getting in on this supposed 70% off deal with New Zealand Muscle, crazy, man. Dion, you are a twat, bro. I don't know. Surely you've found some information by now. You've had Dave Latally, the brown butterbean, leave your company after bringing him on as a CEO. He hasn't gone into sharing any more details other than there's a lot of issues and a lot of stuff that was messed up, which caused them to step away and go, yeah, no, I can't stay here and fix this. And I still haven't seen anything from the supposed family-run business CEO, founder, Dion, and the team. But again, I think I've mentioned in maybe one or two of these other reactions, or maybe the first two, these employees that want anonymity or hiding their faces, I'm assuming it's because they've been involved for long periods of time and that they knew that this stuff was happening. And for whatever reason, it's good that they've come out now and said stuff, but I could imagine that they probably don't want their faces shown because they must have been working there for quite some time.
This is especially alarming as this adds weight to the claim that most no-brand products are illegally packed at NZ Muscle HQ, not just the two we're aware of. If they've identified issues with these products, is this not something that should be communicated with the public? Or at the very least, the customers who have purchased these products? This behavior feels awfully similar to the Career Bears, a questionable product quietly pulled from sale with no communication to consumers whatsoever. The NZ Muscle playbook. So what does this look like to you? We have statements from past employees stating that no brand is packed at their HQ, the same place we found empty tubs of Mexican Isopure stacked to the brim of their bin, which also have identical nutrition panels to the bags of no brand isolate that they claim are made in New Zealand from New Zealand whey. And the second they catch on to our investigation, we get sent to cease and desist. They update the product pages to remove all their incriminating statements, and they pull all the products from sale. I mean, to us, it seems pretty obvious what's going on. We presented our...
I think and even a blind person could see what's going on there, eh? You'd like to think, but again, maybe not with some of those people that are still lapping up the special deals that they think that they're getting. Or that, what was it, the bins full of isolate from Mexican product? Was that expired Mexican product? Crazy, man.
Our hypothesis to our inside source, and they confirmed that every bag of no brand isolate is in fact the same short-dated Isopure. If that's true, that means that when you're purchasing 100% grass-fed, NZ-made no-brand protein, you're actually getting Mexican Isopure that expires way before the date you read on the bag. The 2D and
That's why I've mentioned, like, if people have got the money and are into that stuff, why not just get apparently good, reputable product? I guess New Zealand Muscle was, I'd like to think, intentionally trying to build a reputable brand that was, ethical and all that sort of stuff, but bloody, it's just a bit of a debacle instead of being ethical.
NMR testing we've ordered will help us to confirm if the protein inside the no-brand bags is in fact the about-to-expire Mexican Isopure we found in the Enzo Muscle bins. While we would have loved to include the results in this video, in reality it doesn't make too much difference. There are two possible outcomes of the 2D NMR tests, and in our opinion, they're both bad, just in different ways. Outcome one is that the proteins match. This is of course bad because it confirms the made in NZ from NZ grass-fed whey protein that you're buying is actually about to expire Mexican protein. And outcome two is that the proteins don't match. And in some ways, this is maybe even worse. Because remember, the nutrition panels match identically, so it should be Isopure. And if it's not, then what the fuck are we putting in our bodies?
Far out. That's a good explanation. That's a lose-lose if ever I heard one. Bloody hell.
Bro, it is fucking short-dated.
Staff were told to remove the labels off the EHP.
But then with all the other stories coming in, and it made sense.
Send that straight through and fucking turn a blind eye on those first couple of bags that are probably fucking questionably mixed.
Bro, this is
Bro,
insane.
it's criminal. It's not a mistake.
And just even the way they treat their staff is so
That's right.
wrong.
They're not fraudulent whipping.
So then, again, if these are staff members that are talking and saying even the way they treat their staff members, it's terrible, why aren't they showing their faces? Like, get your mask on the camera, man, so we know who it is. I think, anyway. Like, but again, I feel like the reason that they're not is because potentially they've known about it for months, dare I say years, and so that's really the only reason that I can think of, really. They've been involved in this for such a long period of time that if they show their face, they'll be recognized and known for being a party to all this, what seems like criminal behavior to me. Is anything going to happen to Dion and these people that knew that this stuff was happening there at New Zealand Muscle? Be interesting to know.
People off.
We got to the point where we couldn't even keep our lunch down. We were so stressed.
When we've asked our sources why they think this hasn't come out sooner, they all had similar answers. Intimidation and bullying from management has kept people quiet out of fear of retaliation. And remember,
That's crazy. Intimidation and fear. I don't know, eh? Like, what is Dion? Is he some sort of mafia guy or something? Is he a connected gangster or something like that? This family-run business. I don't know. Just seems weird. I think maybe, possibly, there must be some of that somewhere. Some sort of intimidation, or like I think I heard on one of the reactions, one of the employees said that they were told by one of the leaders or managers, if you don't like it, go get another job or whatever. So I think, maybe there is some of that. The people that they employ, they probably feel like we can manipulate them in some sort of way and have something over them, which maybe they did and were successful in doing for a time. But I also think that it's, the staff that didn't take action also have a responsibility. Like, they could have left, they could have walked away and said, well, stuff you's in, I am leaving. They could have spoken back and said, well, if we don't get this sorted out, if you're threatening me with telling me that I can just leave, well, then I'm going to go public with this. They could have, I would imagine, they could have communicated or said something and basically, I don't know, to use the term, if they wanted to threaten the New Zealand Muscle leaders back, it seems like they could have, and that may have potentially, caused those NZ Muscle management to try and do something else, maybe try to bribe them off. And so I guess that's sort of partly where I'm going to. I think there's another piece to this, aside from just bullying, is that potentially those employees but had bills to pay, maybe some of them did get hush money. Who knows? Be interesting.
whole time they've known about our investigation, NZ Muscle have been silent. When we've addressed things on social media, read out their rubbish cease and desist, and asked them to clarify what is going on, you guys as customers have been left completely in the dark, and the only communication around this topic has been the cease and desist they sent us and that one singular internal email that was sent to their social media ambassadors. Just their ambassadors. We've been told that even NZ Muscle employees managing their own stores haven't been updated about any of this. It seems like they only told their ambassadors because a number of them had actually reached out to us directly asking for clarification, and NZ Muscle wanted to try and take control of the narrative. Do you remember this email? This is the internal memo that was leaked to us within hours of it being sent to ambassadors. At first, it may come across as them taking some accountability, but as you read through it with everything in mind, it honestly just comes across gross. And maybe it gives an insight into how Dion and Sean at NZ Muscle refuse to take responsibility and think they can just cover up their actions with appeals for a little grace and understanding. This section about the no-brand products states, New Zealand has strict supplement and labeling requirements, but they've consistently disregarded these over the last 6 years. So were they doing all of these things?
Over the last 6 years, man, I know I'm a bit late to the party with this documentary. I'd like to think, I think this documentary come out this year, 2026. For the last 6 years, they've just been running a scam. Did I just hear Dion and Sean? Is that his partner or something? Is it? Wife, maybe? Holy heck, some shenanigans happening over there.
For the past 6 years, knowing it was against the law. And they voluntarily removed these products from sale and immediately made changes to the product pages and claims without us even showing them what we had found. It's almost like they knew exactly which claims on the no-brand products weren't accurate and were just waiting for someone to point it out, which, if true, means that they were happily taking your money while lying to your face. This section about the batch testing.
Sadly, that's not uncommon in many places. Lots of places and organizations that sadly lie to your face and take your money. New Zealand Muscle's not the first, it won't be the last. Doesn't mean that it's all right. That's not what I'm saying. It's just one of those things. Governments do it to us all the time.
States that they work closely with their testing partners to ensure information is accurate and appropriately represented. But how can this be the case if the third-party test results show their creatine batches from Prosoma and witness statements from within NZ Muscle claim there's an employee whose entire job it is to package creatine illegally at their Auckland HQ? Not to mention this video we have. NZ Muscle, in this internal email, say they don't claim to be perfect, but no one is asking for perfection. We're asking for honesty, integrity.
Yeah, I was just going to say, they are asking for honesty and integrity. They're asking for the pure New Zealand way that they're talking about. They're asking for the product that they are stating and claiming that they're putting on these blinking dodgy Mexican products and short expiry date products, and indeed some expired product. People just want to know that what it is that they are purchasing and buying is the actual thing that the organization or the company, in this case New Zealand Muscle, is touting it to be. Out.
And the ability to trust that what we are putting in our bodies is what they are telling us. We're asking for an established 20-year-old company who brags about being the #1 supplement retailer to...
Holy heck, 20-year company. And they've been doing this for 6 years, it sounds like. Really? Has it just been 6 years? It just seems like it brings everything into question. Well, established 2006. New Zealand family owned. Holy heck. They've been rotting the system for 20 years. It's crazy. That's what it seems like. Not that I've purchased anything from there, but it seems and feels like that's probably what they've been doing. Like, why Why would they be doing everything well for 14 years and then these last 6 years just be acting like dirtbags? that again is why I've been mentioning why potentially some of the staff maybe don't want to show their faces, because maybe they've been involved in this for years and maybe it's more than 6 years.
Stop their 6-year pattern of brazenly breaking the law. It feels tone deaf and kind of gross, to be honest, to say it's important to remember that NZ Muscle is a family-owned New Zealand business, because it's New Zealand families who they are lying to. And
that should give them, and I assume I know why they use it, because Kiwis being Kiwis, or in any country, I think they want to support locally owned and run family businesses, because they're like, oh, good on them, we want to back them. New Zealand made, New Zealand grown, family business. Let's support them instead of these other foreign interests. So it does work in their favour in that sense, I think anyway. But with that comes the responsibility and the trust that you are looking to build with, in this case, New Zealanders, as touting yourself as a New Zealand-owned, family-run business, to earn and maintain the trust of your customers, which, well, maybe they still have with some of the people that have messaged on some of my reactions to this, saying that they couldn't resist the 70% deals. Like, bro, come on, man. 70%? You don't reckon there's something dodgy in that little special bundle you're getting?
putting in harm's way. It's you and your families. The question remains, how deep does it go? We have videos, photos, and statements from the past 6 years that indicate continued systematic fraud and illegal manufacturing. They're sending C&Ds to try to silence us and pulling every no-brand product as soon as we start asking questions.
That's why I say, if they've been around for 20 years, surely they haven't just started doing this in the last 6 years. You'd think it must have been happening. That's why, surely is there going to be some sort of criminal process as a result of this? It feels like there should be.
And if we could find all of this in just 2 weeks, what other products sold by NZ Muscle?
They discovered all of this in 2 weeks. Damn, I didn't realize that's how quickly they discovered all of this. Imagine if this group continues to dig further. Imagine they go for in 3 months or something. I wonder if they would discover that this has been happening longer than 6 years, reaching out to these other suppliers of these other products, that Mexican isoprep and whatever else that they've been selling, going back and having a look at the products that they were selling before, etc., or getting access or a list to that. Surely the governing bodies could get access to and see their accounts and where they've ordered product from and when, etc., to then be able to check and see if the same sort of blinkered dodgy scam has been running the entire time. Wow.
Aren't what they seem. What other risks have they taken with your health just to pad their wallets? What else are they doing behind closed doors, hoping that intimidation of employees will be enough to prevent the truth from escaping? And I understand that after watching this, you may feel angry or ripped off or disgusted or a whole host of negative emotions.
Yeah, probably pretty disappointed and disgusted. I mean, I'm not angry because I haven't spent any money on their products, but I could imagine, like what he's just described, those that have and those that probably have trusted, I would assume, NZ Muscle for a long time. You know how you can set up accounts with businesses when you buy their product and things online? They've probably got a number of, dare I say, loyal customer base that have been with them, dare I say, from the start. Mad.
And that anger is justified. But it's important that's channeled to the right places. Please do not harass NZ Muscle's employees, social media ambassadors, or their partners. They have been left in the dark almost as much as you, and this will likely be as much a shock for them. Maybe some of the employees, I could agree with what he's saying there. Ambassadors,
like to think that they knew nothing about it. Ambassadors, I'm guessing they're people that like influencers, I suppose, and they use their product and they endorse it and they promote it and they get access to free products, to free expired Mexican product they're getting and probably using. Talking on their videos, man, this tastes so good. Oh, I feel so much better. I'm just so energized, blah, 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 about how effective their product is. And all that time, people like Dion and Sean would have just been sitting back, just laughing, cracking up probably, as they go out and blink and do whatever it is that they do, spending the money that they're getting in through the sales that the ambassadors and stuff are generating for their business. It's just crazy to me. But back to the employees piece. I think there has to be, my honest take, there has to be a number of employees that have been there at NZ Muscle. Maybe they're not there anymore, but who either were there and or maybe they are still there, that have known about this stuff happening for ages and have just done nothing about it. Because again, potentially, bills to pay, mouths to feed. Maybe that's, that was the one of the things limiting them or restricting them to that place. Yeah, maybe there was some bullying, maybe there was some threats and that sort of stuff, but far out. Imagine if you're working there for that long. Again, why I think many of them don't want to show their faces is because probably a lot of their friends and dare I say family members have purchased from NZ Muscle because they know them and they trust them. So therefore they go and buy that product from there where they work. I reckon there's a lot more to this than what we're seeing here in this part of the documentary.
Let's not give NZ Muscle the chance to position themselves as the victims. Don't let them use terms like smear campaign or claims of bullying and harassment to deflect from their actions. To Dion and Sean at NZ Muscle, you make big claims about being the #1 supplement retailer in the country, about being a true family-owned grassroots New Zealand business, but it is New Zealand families you are taking advantage of. It is New Zealand families you are exposing to unwashed machinery, illegal production rooms, and falsified expiry dates. You have stated we would never knowingly sell mislabeled products. Yet, we have videos of your employees, under your instruction, mislabeling EHP Labs Isopept as NZ Muscle Isolate. You say you can find correct information in regards to products we sell on our website. Yet, when questioned about dodgy products like Korea Bears or your no-brand range, you pull them from sale, try to sneakily remove incriminating claims, or update entire product pages to make transparent disclaimers, all without making any formal statement to your customers or even the managers of your own retail stores. Is this the better way that Dion thought of? NZ Muscle customers for at least the past 6 years have been...
So yeah, and on that point, there's, like I said, there likely are some employees that probably don't know and never knew, especially if they're not reaching out and communicating with their store managers and all that sort of stuff in and around the product and what's happening and the things that these guys have been bringing to light. So yeah, there probably are a number of employees. I should have maybe tried to clarify that and not say that my suspicion is that all NZ Muscle employees must have known about it, because I don't think that would be true anyway. But yeah.
Spending their hard-earned money on products that simply are not what you claim them to be, repackaged in an illegal, unregistered room at your HQ and slapped with an extended expiry date.
Illegal, unregistered, unhygienic space in their little, in their headquarters area. Man, that's mad.
Everyone deserves an explanation. Your internal email to social media ambassadors said that where mistakes have occurred, you are committed to addressing them and improving your systems and processes. And to be honest, it's hard to view all of this as just a mistake rather than a deliberate action. But how do you plan to address these? And how do you plan to improve your systems and processes?
And when is he going to come out and give a statement? I don't know that he will, eh? He's come out and done that one where he introduced Dave Latelli, who's no longer part of it. He hasn't come out, as far as I'm aware, and said anything since Dave Latelli has left. And he hasn't responded to this documentary with anything. Nuts, man. They must be scrambling, like frantically scrambling, panicking, trying to get things sorted out. I would imagine all of their ambassadors have probably pulled away. That's what I'd think anyway. Maybe they haven't.
How do you plan to make this right for everyone who has purchased from NZ Muscle over the past 6 years because of lies you told them? For the employees and ambassadors who have proudly promoted a brand they thought they could trust. Sean, you said in a message to Geordie that as a business owner, it is just not how you would do things or conduct yourself. How do you do things? And how do you conduct yourself?
Far out. We reached out to NZ Muscle for their statement. They declined to comment. Well, I think that's just their MO. Don't say anything. Bury their head in the sand and say nothing, and just hope that people just continue to buy from them. And clearly it must still be working. They're still in business. Like I said, people that commented on one of my reaction videos said, yep, they're still in business. I purchased some more stuff from their sites recently. The 70% discount was just too good to refuse. So, you know, either people haven't seen this or people just don't care. And if they don't care what it is that they're buying and what it is that they're putting into their bodies, or what it is that they believe they're getting, if they're not even bothered about reading the labels, then good for them. I mean, they clearly don't care what they put into their system or into their body, and they just crack on doing whatever it is that they do. But for these owners, this Dion and Sean, man, surely there has got to be some sort of public, what's the word I'm looking for? Words I'm looking for. There's got to be some sort of accountability to them, and surely that would be made public somehow through either MPI, through the media, and then go into whatever legal process needs to happen. I don't know that it's just been 6 years, bros. I reckon if they've been around for 20 years, and if this is what they've found out in 2 weeks' time about what this company's been doing for the last 6 years, I wouldn't put it past them that that's pretty much how they've been operating since they started. They came up, they concocted this plan and this idea to be able to get cheaper product from, expired product from another place, just relabel, repackage, and then sell it off at a premium, because it's New Zealand run business, allegedly, and it's 100% New Zealand grass-fed whey or protein or whatever the terms are, and whacking on an extra 20, 30, 40% on top. Who knows? Maybe it's even more than that. Maybe they were making blinking, 100% margins on the dodgy product that they were buying. But anyway, that's that for this one. Finish this reaction to this NZ Muscle drama and saga. Dion and Sean, you two need to give yourselves blinking some uppercuts, and you should be coming out and giving a statement. You probably won't, because you're probably a pair of gutless, bloody cowards, and you are a disgrace. If you are Kiwis, if you are New Zealanders, you are a trucking disgrace, both the pair of you. Anyway, that's it for that's my little rant at the end. If you stuck around this long, thanks very much for your time. If you saw these reactions, what's your thoughts? What's your feedback? What do you think about Dion and Sean? What do you think about NZ Muscle after watching the work and effort that these guys have put into making this documentary? It's worth a watch, I reckon. And I reckon it's worth a watch and consideration for anybody who seriously utilizes supplements, whether you get them from NZ Muscle or anywhere else. This documentary and the work that these guys have done and putting into it is well worth having a watch and considering, and maybe paying a bit more attention to what it is that you're buying, who you're buying from, what it is that you're putting into your system, and or whether or not do you actually need it. Are you actually getting any benefits from these types of things that they are selling, which is apparently just wrought with a whole bunch of fraud and blink and deception. So anyway, thanks again for your time. Take care, look after yourselves, and I'll see yous on the next one.